Good evening. Welcome to the third episode. Are we on third now? Fourth. Oh, wow. There we go.
Just because you missed one.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Never mind.
I said about 20 seconds ago, I said, Jess, can you please do the instruction? I think you should do the instruction. But she's bugging it up now, so she won't get it.
Well, there.
Anyway.
First chance.
Good week?
Gone. Good week, actually. Yeah, pretty good. It's reading week this week. So
you're here drinking beer and
absolutely. Is that not what reading weeks are for?
Taxpayers' money.
Well, no. I've been doing a bit of work.
It's very wet.
Mm.
The river on the farm, or the brook, as we call it in Leicestershire, has burst its banks and it's causing a mess everywhere.
Oh dear.
I think we've had about a metre swing in river height today.
Jesus.
So this morning...
Just this week?
No, today.
Oh my God.
So this morning when I went down, it was well over the banks, and then this evening when I shut the geese up, I went down and it was...
I bet they're loving it though.
Yeah.
Perfect weather if you're a goose.
I did a video in the week about geese being well equipped to handle wet weather, which we'll talk about.
Oh yeah,
that.
with the layers of feathers and stuff.
Yeah, two layers of feathers and
perfect.
Webbed feet.
Ah.
Which I did that in the video and
surface area.
Got bullied for it. But there we go. So this week we've got plenty to talk about. I wanted to spend a lot of this episode talking about marketing, which you'll know about because that's to do with your degree, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. A part of my degree is to do. I'm doing agri-food business studies and marketing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to pull in all different aspects of the food chain and, like you say, what works, what doesn't work, what the consumer wants, what suppliers want to give out, and are they actually meeting in the middle? Yes.
I mean, for me, it's just I change my mind daily on what the balance should be. Who should I be talking to and who should I not? I know who my target audience are, or my ideal, what I want my target audience to be.
Yeah.
For longevity and for where I see the brand and the product, but yeah, it's always such a battle in my head of where I should be, and I think probably if you've got one of these kind of quite sharp heads of what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, help me out.
What are you trying to describe?
Like when a surgeon is really like, what is it? When you scrutinise, when you scrutinise a lot.
Okay.
What's the word? When you anyway.
When you pull it apart, basically.
Forensic.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be forensic.
Got there in the end.
When you're trying to be forensic about marketing, those people who've got those forensic marketing grades will probably look at my Instagram and go, "There's a bloke who can't make up his mind what he is trying to."
What's trying to
do. So you probably see that because I like to post really confident, bright images of the product and of the brand, and then all of a sudden I go, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm running away from my audience, and I go and put a very farmery, farm shoppy, country, tweed, flat cap video on my Instagram of me in a Land Rover, and I kind of, there's nothing wrong with that. But
no,
it has to be
in moderation.
And in balance.
What you don't want to go is you don't want to be too much one way, too much the other way. You need to try and find a happy medium. So doing that is great because obviously that's going to touch base with some of your clientele, some of your customers for Goose Co that are from probably agricultural backgrounds, really want to know more about the geese, how they're reared, where they're from. But then you've also got other people, absolutely, and then you've got other people that really want to know, wow, that goose burger looks fantastic. Really like the idea of that. Where's the recipe? What else can I put with that? What sides?
Yeah, so I mean, the word provenance is the big thing. So when I first started this, and I'm sure a lot of other people when they start these kind of agri-food businesses think, right, the provenance has to be bang on. So your sustainability, your free range, hand reared, how the product ethically got to where it is now, that has to be bang on. And I think we did. Last year when we were Brewers Goose, we were just far too much of that, and we were very confused in that. We were nowhere near confident enough in our product. So as we're now approaching what I like to call the business end of the season, so as I get
close to
Christmas, and you're like, okay, that's brilliant. You can be as nice as everyone's been throughout the whole year, and now it comes down to sales.
Yeah,
you get quite, you have to be bang on with your messaging.
Absolutely. Well, does the consumer know what they want? Because, I mean, some people
very good question.
love to know all the provenance and where it comes from, how it got there, blah blah blah. But then some people are like, do you know what? That looks great. Seen that on Instagram. I'll buy that. Don't actually care where it came from.
Yeah. See, there's a lot of amazingly successful companies out there who are all style and very little substance. So
it's only you've seen.
Yeah. So there's a restaurant I was looking at today, a restaurant in LA who have just opened up in London last year, called Egg Slut.
Right.
EGGSLUT.
Interesting.
Egg Slut, which
nice.
Which I actually am a massive fan of, because they know exactly what they are. It's guerrilla marketing. It's in your face, and what they're doing is they're selling egg sandwiches. But
that's it.
It is
simple,
incredible food, and the product is fantastic, and everything's in your face. So it's obviously appealing to a younger audience, kind of a city-based, London-esque young audience, and are doing fantastically well. If I tried to set the same business up here in rural Leicestershire,
people are going, "What on earth is that?"
So, yeah, but I'm a massive fan of that. And if you look on the website, it's actually quite difficult. You won't see a picture of a chicken in a field laying an egg. You know,
what kind of eggs do they use? Are they chicken or?
Oh, chicken. Yeah, no, they're definitely chicken eggs.
Okay. Ostrich.
But yeah, so I was looking at that, and another one is Grind Coffee in London.
Okay, yeah.
Again, founded by David Abramovich. Massive fan of David Abramovich. I think he's done awesome things with his career. But again, you have to look quite hard on the website to find any, where it's come from, how ethical the product is. It's when you get, it's very style of substance as soon as it's there, and that can put a lot of people off. Especially, I'd say, I've got to be very careful here. Well-educated, middle class, disposable income people, they might see through that very, very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
obviously both of those examples that you've just said, so Egg Slut and Grind, are both London-based companies.
They are, yes, but that doesn't mean it doesn't mean to say that the. Oh, so do you think the coffee beans come from Hackney? Do you?
No, of course no. I'm not saying they're grown down the road, but obviously their clientele is going to be very different to what yours is going to be.
See, that's the thinking. Yeah, but I also think that the future of food will probably end up in their half of the court. So I am increasingly thinking that I should try to get over to their side of the court some way or other.
So I mean, yeah, say 10 years down the line you want to open a Goose restaurant in London.
The dream. That's the dream.
Absolutely. But you're not going to be rearing the geese in Camden Market, are you?
No,
but that's to come from somewhere.
Of course not. But I can still position myself as a young person's London style company.
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't dispute that at all.
And aim my market in London for young people, and just have the geese being, reared in Leicestershire. So that's very much the balance. I mean, last year's difficult to go off because we were a different brand and we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was all very ad hoc and slapdash. But yeah, so that's where we are. But that, from last year, we had a lot of sales in London, a lot of sales on the south coast.
Yeah, okay.
Which was it was kind of that's what triggered it. Kind of thinking, right, am I doing the right thing by standing out a farm shop in Leicestershire? Should I be should I get the train down and go and stand on handing out things on the streets in London? So it's always that balance. But
have you had a look on on your Instagram page? You know how with businesses you can do like the whole look at your insights and stuff.
So I have done it on Instagram, but more interestingly, the website analytics from Google
Where are your
Analytics.
Customers coming from?
Very London based.
Oh really? Oh
but,
right. Well, I mean that does change things.
Southeast based. So is it just people with more money? Is that the thing?
People with more money down there?
Yeah, the southeast of the UK is the most affluent area of the UK. But or is that a branding thing, or is it just a complete coincidence that everyone in the southeast likes geese? So it's one of them.
Possibly.
Who knows?
To look at.
Who knows? But you own a farm shop, so you can shed some light on your customs.
I mean, I would say that we're quite fortunate actually. Our farm shop, am I allowed to disclose location?
Yep.
I mean, well, we're Leicestershire, so I'm Nottinghamshire. We once upon a time were very, very rural based, just north of Nottingham city centre, But as time's gone on, as we've needed more houses, they've built around us. So we've now got people that would have been once driving to see us are now actually walking down the pavement to come and see us. So, and we're also seeing a lot of, I mean, stereotypically, for farm shops, the type of customers you think of would probably be retired, got a bit more money in their pocket. But we're now actually seeing that with all these new houses, we've got families coming in, younger people that are working, starting careers at like quite a much younger age. So they're now thinking, do you know what? I really want great quality food. I'm going to walk to the farm shop that's 100 metres down the road. Yeah. Rather than, I'm going to get in the car and go to Aldi or Tesco or any other supermarket. Yeah.
I mean, I've always worried, in the last couple of years, I've worried about the future of farm shops because there was a real phase about 10 years ago where farm shops were the thing.
And they were very cool.
They were popping up everywhere and they were very fashionable. And from a completely, novice's perspective, I've worried about them because of an ageing population and people. I think the big pull for farm shops is it reminds people of an older generation how they used to shop before the supermarket phase.
You go and get jam weighed out.
And you have your carrots put on a scale and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think very much for young people, going to farm shops is still a fashion.
Yeah,
because they like to be
Instagrammable.
Yeah, exactly. And that I think that will fade because fashions come and go.
Do you know what? It's quite interesting though, in terms of like fashions and trends and stuff like that. It seems to be that, I mean, again, I'm going to talk quite stereotypically here, but it takes something like a food disaster. Absolutely, like an outrage. So
I've had a few food disasters. I tried to caramelise some onions and put them in an omelette the other day, and it was just it was a disaster.
Anyway, right, national food disasters, not in Fred's kitchen. So if you go back to the horse meat scandal. No.
Come on.
Right. Oh my God.
The horse meat scandal, which was in what year? And they found, what year was it? 2000 and, I'm going to guess here, 2013.
Was it?
I don't know, that's a complete guess.
Right.
Basically, they found horse meat in labelled beef burgers, cheap beef burgers.
Tesco beef lasagna.
Yeah. So, and they tracked it back and it was, came through Europe.
Traces of equine.
And not good. So that's absolutely awful.
But it
on
took
every
something
level.
like that for someone to go, right, okay, what is on my plate in front of me? What is actually in this? And suddenly, rather than nipping down the road to the local supermarket...
I'm going to Google it because it's annoying me. Keep talking, Jess. Get your guesses in. What do you think it is?
I just saw it. I
can't.
It is a pretty good
2013.
Guess,
I'm pretty good.
Bang on. There
pretty
we go.
Good.
Okay, right, now, when was the egg one with Edwina Curry?
Egg scandal.
Everything's a scandal.
Edwina Curry.
That was a lot earlier,
1988. So they...
but again, it took something like that for everyone to go, right, where are my eggs coming from?
I know.
Why does it take a disaster for everyone to go, whoa, let's think about what I'm eating?
Because fashion and daily lifestyles and it's so much more important to people. Like...
What, than what you're eating and putting in your own body?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. That is the truth, unfortunately. That's what we're up against. So you have to position yourself with that in mind. Yes, in an ideal world, everyone would care. Their number one priority would be the quality of everything that's going into their body, right? But that's not where we are. And I think you very much have to pick your battles. That's where I'm coming down to. You very much have to pick your battles. And yes, we must champion all that, and because of the ethics and everything. But you need to also be streetwise and position yourself to take advantage of it. Otherwise, I hate to use the phrase, but you're going to be pissing in the wind for a long, long time.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, and I wanted to have a visual representation of the scales in terms of the farm shop, which is a tweed flat cap. So you're the farm shop.
Okay.
And I'm the trendy London. I'm egg slut.
Do they wear it
down in London?
Now? Is it backwards?
Sorry.
Oh, of course. There we go. Character assumed.
So you've got this, and it's you're either one or the other. So the thinking is you're either one or the other. So if you're over there, you're not going to appeal to this person.
No.
And if you're over here, then you're going to absolutely put off that person. So the mistake that I think I might have made, or a lot of people make, or maybe it's not a mistake, maybe it's what you should be doing, is trying to be in here somewhere. So do you go fully over there and target those kind of people, or do you go fully over here
and risk losing
those people? So I think the future is probably on a scale is probably about here somewhere.
But see, things tend to happen in cycles. Do you not think that
globalization? I think it's
about to come back again.
I think it's globalization. If it does come back, it will be a fashion. We're never going to get into a food system of everyone going to farm shops and everyone going to butcheries. And with more urbanized populations, bigger cities, more cities, that's not going to happen. More trends and fashions will leak into every single aspect of our life.
And that's a way of marketing,
and that's,
isn't it?
That's social media and the rest of it, and it will just continue and continue to. That's where I think at the moment. So I think you have to be thinking 5-10 years down the line, and if you position yourself here, in 10 years' time, you're going to find yourself here. So sorry, but you need to be able to. Yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I think. I mean, I spoke to Harry. We talked about Harry before on this show. Harry Garside, who runs Rumpus Artisan Burger Restaurant in Slough, West Yorkshire. Rang him up and I said, because he's got the provenance, farms the beef himself very ethically, goes a mile down the road, turns burgers, a mile back up the road to sell it. I said, what's the number one reason people buy your product? And he says, because the burger's really nice and you eat it in a really nice place.
Oh God! Right,
he said that is the number one reason. He said, and he actually used the word unfortunately. So there's a farmer who's very.
Oh, so he sees that as a.
No, he says obviously as farmers, as we take pride in our profession, we would love people to be buying our products because of how we made them.
Yeah, of course.
But in the actual fact of it, it's the basics of how good the product is and how good the experience
nice
is
the
of having. Yeah, it's like the whole experience of consuming that product. How good is it?
Okay.
So,
but again, so obviously you're talking about an end product there. So somebody that's technically a service. You're going to a restaurant.
Yep.
You're buying that. Again, same with Eggslut and Grind.
Everything's
They're all end.
But then mine's so I sell geese for Christmas. I'd still class that as some kind of a service. I'm giving someone an experience.
You are raw. They then take it home and they cook it
of
themselves.
Course, but what I'm trying to bring in is that can be an experience in itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, but I think what people don't focus on, they focus too much on the provenance and these, which is very much what we did last year, the sustainability side and all that, and work their way towards the product and say these are the reasons you should buy this, rather than starting with look at this. Isn't this amazing? And then here are the extra little stamps on the side.
Yeah,
if you are worried about these, and people will become increasingly more worried about these, they're there anyway. So, for example, 10, 15 years ago, free range, sustainability, ethically sourced were you needed them, like you absolutely.
People
were hooked on it. People were hooked on it. Oh my God, I've got to buy this because it is free range or this is sustainable. Now, everything's sustainable. And they're
what else are you giving?
They're hygiene stamps rather than USPs. I think now.
I suppose consumers are getting to a point where they're actually presuming. So if you are buying a Goose Co goose, you are presuming that it's been ethically reared, it's to a fantastic standard. Is that, I mean, obviously the quality of great British produce, because we are at such a high level, are consumers already just presuming that that's guaranteed? And then they're looking for the additional marketing stuff to then, that is their deciding factor between, am I going to buy a Goose Co goose or am I going to go and buy someone else's?
Yeah,
because of the way that you're marketing it on Instagram.
I think very much our USP, as I've come to describe it, is goose. It's like bison meat. Like people want to be sold something different.
Yeah.
That's very much what I've learned. And I think you can confuse that by bringing in a load of other things. That's very much where I'm at. So that's what even pushes me further towards this end of the spectrum, because it is the product and it is how amazing the product is which sells it. You don't have to be on that side of things, worrying about you. You got to have them, but you don't need to be pushing them.
Yeah.
As
You've
much.
got a strong product.
Yeah.
It sells itself.
Product is strong. That's it. That's what I think. You know. But
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, I'm no expert. I've only been doing this for like 2 years, so there's been people out there who have been doing this all their lives, or longer than I have, who will be thinking, "Oh, you're wrong."
Well, no, absolutely. But you've got to, it's modern times, isn't it? You've got to keep up with it. Starting a business now, of course, is going to be probably more challenging than you're right.
Yeah.
Coughed up a lung.
Oh dear. Good. Anyway, I think that was a good discussion. That was a very good. I think that's helped.
We've got that out.
This is we've gone into the winter season of That'll Never Work, and we've got an electric fan heater in the corner. It is absolutely Baltic in here.
Modern technology.
When I converted this place, I converted it in early September when it was sunny and warm, and I didn't forget, but I didn't really pay too much attention to the fact that it will get below 10 degrees in here, and it's now absolutely freezing. So there we go.
We're battling on through.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this 4th episode. Hopefully you've picked on something that you're interested in, or you know, hopefully you're interested. Otherwise, I'm sure you'd have turned off by now. Just keep your feedback coming in. It's very, very nice to hear constructive feedback. And hopefully we'll see you again next week. I'm trying to get my father-in-law on to be a guest.
Your father-in-law?
Which could be dangerous, couldn't it? Could be the end. Could be.
We're like a topical debate, but you've got to keep it on side.
Yeah, he's quite a he won't stop talking. That's the thing. He'll sit there, and I could sit like this for half an hour and have the easiest podcast ever.
Easy life. That's
he'll
all
just
you
talk
need.
and talk and talk, and it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So that was good. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you soon.